Hi, I'm Sue with today's Bible reading for January 26th. I'm reading today Exodus 25 to 27 from the World English Bible. And I want to say, if you've been trying to follow along with the reading and you miss a day, please don't feel like you have to catch up. Don't do that to yourself. It becomes a real chore when you say, well, now I have 2 days to catch up on. Now I have 3 days to catch up on. Just hop on. God can speak to you through any part of scripture. And this reading is circular. So you can just listen all the way back around again. If you start in the middle of the year, you can listen all the way around to where you started. There are playlists on my channel where if you want, you can put on the book and listen all the way through, review the book that I'm reading through if you want to, but don't make it a burden on yourself to always be right with it. Some days you're going to miss. And similar along that same lines, the Bible is not like any other book when you read it. It's a different way of reading it. I remember when I was younger, I took some ballet. And when we went to the ballet class, they didn't sit us down and give us a primer and a ballet 101 and 102 or any classes or basics. We just stood in in line with everybody and followed along, kind of like an aerobics class. We had no idea what we were doing, didn't know any of the positions or moves, but we just followed the teacher and mimicked the movements until they became our own. We picked it up as we went along, and the Bible's like that. You jump in, you pick up parts of it, you keep going, you pick up more parts, and then you pick up more, and it begins to build a picture. I like to call it a jigsaw puzzle. It begins to fill in the picture, the framework of this puzzle for you as you read through. And I've been reading over 30 years since the late 80s, and I'm telling you, it just gets better every year. It's wonderful. So don't quit. Don't make it a big, heavy burden. Just get in and enjoy the Word of God. Okay, chapter 25, verse 1. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel that they take an offering for me. From everyone whose heart makes him willing, you shall take my offering. This is the offering which you shall take from them: gold, silver, bronze, blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, goat's hair, rams, skins dyed red, sea cow hides, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, onyx stones and stones to be set for the ephod and for the breastplate. Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Okay, so this is the beginning of the tent of the meeting, the very, very beginning. Okay, until now they did not have a building for worship. So again, it said, let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. According to all that I show you, the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all its furniture, even so you shall make it. They shall make an ark of acacia wood. Its length shall be 2.5 cubits, its width 1.5 cubits, and 1.5 cubits its height. Now let me see what that is. A cubit is the length from the tip of a middle finger to the elbow on a man's arm, or about 18 inches or 46 centimeters. So 18 inches for us, 1.5 feet. So it says its length shall be 2.5 cubits, its width 1.5 cubits, and 1.5 cubits its height. You shall overlay it with pure gold. You shall overlay it inside and outside, and you shall make a gold molding around it. You shall cast 4 gold rings of gold for it, and put them in its 4 feet. 2 rings shall be on the one side of it, and 2 rings on the other side of it. You shall make poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. You shall put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark. So it's a rectangular box. The poles shall be in the rings of the ark. They shall not be taken from it. You shall put the covenant which I shall give you into the ark. So for those that don't know, this is the Ark of the Covenant. I believe that it is made after the pattern of the one in heaven. And inside of this, he's telling him to put the covenant, which is going to be the 10 Commandments or the commandments. And later it's going to have some manna, and it will have Aaron's rod that budded. I think that's it. I think that's all that ever goes in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so this is a sacred ark, which has the mercy seat, which is where Jesus' blood was poured out on the heavenly mercy seat. So this is a copy. I want to be careful with my words. It's a copy of the one that's in heaven. Very important. Okay, this is sacred. This object that they're making. So he says, you shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits shall be its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. You shall make 2 cherubim of hammered gold. You shall make them at the two ends of the mercy seat. Make one cherub at the one end and one cherub at the other end. You shall make the cherubim on its two ends of one piece with the mercy seat. The cherubim shall spread out their wings upward, covering the mercy seat with their wings, with their faces toward one another. The faces of the cherubim shall be toward the mercy seat. You shall put the mercy seat on top of the ark, and in the ark you shall put the covenant that I will give you. There I will meet with you, and I will tell you from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubim which are on the ark of the covenant, all that I command you for the children of Israel. You shall make a table of acacia wood. Its length shall be 2 cubits, and its width a cubit, and its height 1.5 cubits. You shall overlay it with pure gold, and make a gold molding around it. You shall make a rim of a hand width around it. You shall make a golden molding on its rim around it. I'm sorry, y'all. You shall make 4 rings of gold for it, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on its 4 feet. The rings shall be close to the rim for places for the poles to carry the table. You shall make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold, and that the table may be carried with them. It's funny, it repeats that instruction. I don't know why it does that in places. You shall make its dishes, its spoons, its ladles, and its bowls with which to pour out offerings. You shall make them of pure gold. You shall set bread of the presence on the table before me always. You shall make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand shall be made of hammered work. Its base, its shaft, its cups, its buds, and its flowers shall all be of one piece with it. There shall be 6 branches going out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 of the branches of the lampstand out of its other. 3 cups made like almond blossoms in one branch, a bud and a flower, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the other branch, a bud and a flower. So for the 6 branches going out of the lampstand, and in the lampstand 4 cups made like almond blossoms, its buds and its flowers, and a bud under 2 branches of one piece with it, and a bud under 2 branches of one piece with it. I'm lost already with this. I was envisioning it, but now it's lost me. Their buds and their branches shall be of one piece with it, all of it one beaten work of pure gold. You shall make its lamps 7. Well, I was picturing this, a menorah, a stand, picture, if you don't know what it is, picture a single candlestick with 3 more coming out on each side to make 7 in all, and they curve up so that there are 7 candles all in a row. You can look it up if you don't know what that is. But then they started talking about these other ones with 4 and 6 and blah, blah, and it lost me. I'd have to reread that. Okay, so but then down here again it says, you shall make its lamps 7, and they shall light its lamps to give light to the space in front of it. Its snuffers and its snuff dishes shall be of pure gold. It shall be made of a talent of pure gold. Let me see what a talent is. It's about 66 pounds or 30 kilograms, or 965 troy ounces. 66 pounds of gold. Wow. And with these accessories, see that you make them after their pattern, which has been shown to you on the mountain. So perhaps Moses saw the heavenly version when he was up on the mountain. 26:1. Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet, with cherubim. You shall make them with the work of a skillful workman. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. All the curtains shall have one measure. 5 curtains shall be coupled together to one another, and the other curtains shall be coupled to one another. You shall make loops of blue on the edge of one curtain from the edge in the coupling, and you shall do likewise on the edge of the curtain that is outmost in the second coupling. So they're making a tent with these beautiful curtains, fine twined linen, white and blue, and I think that said white. At any rate, blue, purple, scarlet. I thought white too, because it's what the pictures have. But anyway, all around this big rectangular tent with one entryway. Okay, so it says, just so you can understand, it's making rings to hang the linens on, bars and limbs and posts. So it says, you shall make 50 loops in the one curtain, and you shall make 50 loops in the edge of the curtain that is in the second coupling The loops shall be opposite one another. You shall make 50 clasps of gold and couple the curtains to one another with the clasps. The tabernacle shall be a unit. You shall make curtains of goat's hair for a covering over the tabernacle. You shall make 11 curtains. The length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain shall be 4 cubits. The 11 curtains shall have one measure. You shall couple 5 curtains by themselves and 6 curtains by themselves, and shall double over the 6th curtain into the forefront of the tent. You shall make 50 loops on the edge of the one curtain that is outermost in the coupling, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain which is outermost in the second coupling. You shall make 50 clasps of bronze, and put the clasps into the loops, and couple the tent together that it may be one. The overhanging part that remains of the curtains of the tent, half the curtains that remains, shall hang over the back of the tabernacle. The cubit on the one side and the cubit on the other side of that which remains in the length of the curtains of the tent shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side to cover it. You shall make a covering for the tent of rams' skins dyed red, and a covering of cow hides above. Very detailed. And this is a tent that they're going to have to pack up, move, set back up, and all of the tribes had a certain place they camped in respect to where the tent was. So as you can see, like I said yesterday, they're becoming more and more organized in their culture and their community. Verse 15. You shall make the boards for the tabernacle of acacia wood standing upright. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and 1.5 cubits the width of each board. There shall be 2 tenons in each board, joined to one another. Thus you shall make for all the boards of the tabernacle. You shall make 20 boards for the tabernacle for the south side southward. You shall make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for its tenons, 2 sockets under another board for its tenons, for the second side of the tabernacle. On the north side, 20 boards, and their 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board and 2 sockets under another board. For the far side of the tabernacle westward, you shall make 6 boards. You shall make 2 boards for the corners of the tabernacle in the far side. They shall double beneath, and in the same way they shall be whole to its top to one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for the 2 corners. There shall be 8 boards and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board and 2 sockets under another board. Now, if you can keep track, like actually envision what he's describing and follow it all the way through, you probably have a high IQ. Higher than mine, that's for sure. Some people can do that. They can envision this much information, kind of like a long math problem, right? My brain doesn't go that far right now. But I have seen pictures, and you can look it up. Okay. You shall, and also I want to say, I definitely understand it and grasp it better now after reading it multiple years. Verse 26. You shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the side of the tabernacle for the far side westward. The middle bar in the middle of the board shall pass through from one end to end, just from end to end. You shall overlay the boards with gold and make their rings of gold for places for the bars. You shall overlay the bars with gold. You shall set up the tabernacle according to the way that it was shown you on the mountain. You shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen with cherubim. It shall be the work of a skillful workman. You shall hang it on 4 pillars of acacia overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold on 4 sockets of silver. You shall hang up the veil under the clasp, and shall bring the ark of the covenant in there within the veil. The veil shall separate the holy place from the most holy place. You shall put the mercy seat on the ark of the covenant in the most holy place. You shall set the table outside the veil, and the lampstand opposite the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south. You shall put the table on the north side. You shall make a screen for the door of the tent of blue and of purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, the work of the embroiderer. So think about, remember when they left Egypt, there was a wealth transfer. So they're out here with, dripping with wealth. I mean, they left with gold, silver, all the stuff they needed now. And maybe that's why God gave it to them, right? Definitely that's why he gave it to them. He was setting them up for this, among other reasons, probably. So it says, you shall make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square. Its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Now this is the brazen altar, I believe, where they're going to make their sacrifices. So it's big. You shall make its post to take away its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, its meat hooks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its vessels of bronze. You shall make a grating of it, of network of bronze. And on the net you shall make 4 bronze rings in its 4 corners. You shall put it under the ledge around the altar beneath, that the net may reach halfway up the altar. You shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. Its poles shall be put into the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar when carrying it. You shall make it hollow with planks. They shall make it as it has been shown you on the mountain. You shall make the court of the tabernacle for the south side southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen 100 cubits long for one side. Its pillars shall be 20, and their sockets 20 of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. Likewise, for the length of the north side there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, and its pillars 20, and their sockets 20 of bronze, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the width of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The width of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings for the one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. For the other side shall be hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. For the gate of the court shall be a screen of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, the work of the embroiderer, their pillars 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars of the court around shall be filleted with silver, their hooks of silver, and their sockets of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of bronze. All the instruments of the tabernacle in all its service, and all of its pins, and all the pins of the court shall be of bronze. You shall command the children of Israel that they bring to you pure olive oil, beaten for the light, to cause a lamp to burn continually. In the tent of meeting, outside the veil, which is before the covenant, Aaron and his sons shall keep it in order from evening to morning before Yahweh. It will be a statute forever throughout their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. And that's it for today's reading. Hope you enjoyed it. Join me for tomorrow's reading from Exodus 28 through 29. Shalom.